2 months to go. We're closing in on the end of this season's Vanarama National League. Welcome along to the best place to catch up each week with what's happening in a brilliant fifth-tier campaign. Let's begin with the leaders Wrexham, who have soared to the summit thanks to a fine start under new manager Brian Hughes. The Dragons were aiming to make it a draw and 4 wins from Hughes' first 5 games, but it wouldn't be simple against a reinvigorated Chesterfield side, who are now away from the relegation zone under John Sheridan, losing just the once in 6. The clash in North Wales was the 108th meeting, with the Spireites winning 49 times. The best chance for Chesterfield to score came in the first period. Marc-Antoine Fortuné was involved, laying off to Jerome Bingham-Williams, and after his attempt was blocked, Curtis Weston went for goal, getting much closer. Wrexham were after a 33rd victory against their Midlands rivals. On the other side of the break, a perfect Luke Young cross was headed in by Akil Wright. It's 2 in 4 for him as the Dragons stay top of the National League.
Oh, it's a massive victory. You know, we knew it was always going to be difficult today. You know, against the Chesterfield team, who are in really good form. Since John Sheridan's gone in, you know, they've had 1 defeat in the last 9. So it was always going to be a test for us. Like I said during the week, it's about what we do. You know, it wasn't the most entertaining game, if I'm being honest, but it was very workmanlike from us today. You know, we did what we had to do, and when that moment of quality came in the game, we took our chance.
Leyton Orient's recent form had threatened to derail their promotion bid. Justin Edinburgh's men had picked up just 1 win from 5 league matches and hadn't won on the road since November. And the match at Havant and Waterlooville started on a sour note when teenager Jack James was forced off in the first 8 minutes after being caught in the face by Sam Ling. However, besides that moment, Orient were otherwise excellent in the first half, highlighted by an outrageous volley from Jordan Maguire-Drew. The 21-year-old picked up from Brighton in January with his 2nd goal in 5 appearances. And if you thought that was good, check out this finish from Alfie Rutherford. The young striker firing in his 12th of the season to level the scores midway through the second half. The previous meeting in late October had seen a comfortable 4-0 victory for Orient. The man who opened the scoring that day, Josh Coulson, had not found the net since. That was until a long throw from Ling landed onto Coulson's head and arced over the goalkeeper. Despite some frantic late pressure from Havant, where Jordan Rose saw his header somehow not cross the line, Coulson's goal would prove enough to temporarily move Orient into 2nd as the O's put an end to their winless woes.
As we know, another outfit firmly in the race to win the title, a surprise package, Solihull Moors. This is after they sat bottom of the National League only 15 months ago. A huge part of the turnaround in the Midlands is Tim Flowers, an England international and Premier League champion during his time as a player. He's been speaking to ex-Blackburn Rovers teammate Chris Sutton as the 5th-tier season draws to a close.
At the start of the season, the expectation was don't get relegated. And if you'd have asked me 45 minutes into the first game of the season at Eastleigh whether I'd still be here at Christmas, I'd have fundamentally said no, because we could have been 5 down and we ended up winning the game. We got 2 in the last 10 minutes, completely against the run of play. And then we won back-to-back here. And you end up 3 on the belt and you've got your heads above water.
But at what point did you think, do you know what, we're in with the shout here?
I think when we got to 50, so quick, which was unexpected. I don't think anyone in their right mind would have expected Solihull to be where they are right now, coming into March. 2nd in the division, which is ridiculous, really. Everyone thinks we're going to fall away. I don't see us crumbling, if I'm honest. I don't see us crumbling.
Going into this run in now, there's not the pressure which there is at Leyton Orient and Wrexham and your Salfords, is there?
Yeah, there will be definitely a lot more pressure on those guys than there is us. And that's part of playing for big clubs with a big fan base. Then it's relevant.
Do you think you'll have the bottle?
Don't talk to me about a bottle. So finishing the playoffs would be and monumental achievement from where we came from. With 12 games to go, where we are in the league now, and me being like I am, I'm demanding more. I think for the sake of 12 games now, don't die wandering, you know. If we can win over half of those, we're going to be in with a shout. So we'll have to wait and see.
This weekend, Moors hosted Maidstone United, who were equally as desperate for 3 points, given John Still's men sat 13 points from safety, with time rapidly running out. Your commentary team, Adam Virgo and Adam Somerton.
We've had a good start to this game without finding the opening goal as yet.
So it's in Bailey up from the back, just the long throws is going to be relentless for Maidstone to deal with.
Particularly while they have the wind in their sails here, and it's dropped kindly. And there's the opener, Jermaine Hilton with it. Brought it down really nicely, and a composed finish as well. Just got away from Wright, but was there a foul there on the edge of the box? The referee feels there was. The challenge by Walton. And it's another one. Darren Carter with the second for Solihull, who doubled their advantage inside 14 minutes. It'll be a long throw in here from Carline as they look to make use of the conditions, and it's flicked on and in. Well, it just goes from bad to worse for Maidstone, and it gets better and better for Solihull Moors.
You have to say it's been a brilliant, brilliant start from Tim Flowers' side.
Chip back in here to bliss it. Wishart didn't know where the ball was for a moment there. Osborne's header. And now Wright. Surely that's a penalty. It is a really rash challenge. Wishart it was who dived in there. And it's been placed here by Jermaine Hilton, who's already got 2 goals today. There's his hat-trick. Coolly taken. Forward to right here as the goalkeeper back pedals and Yusuf waits in the middle. Yusuf! 5-star performance from Solihull. And their top scorer gets in on the act in added time with his 11th National League goal of the season.
Listen, we'll enjoy that because I thought we played well. I thought we particularly started well on Saturday here in the trophy with flat as a pancake, and we couldn't then get out of that rut. Today I wanted a bit of front foot football to start with, get the ball into people, get it in behind, turn people around, and I thought we did that.
AFC Fylde are enjoying a fine season, very much in the promotion mix, and with an FA Trophy semi-final against Stockport County to look forward to. They welcomed another informed side to Mill Farm, Maidenhead, whose 3 wins in a row have moved them away from the danger zone. And within 10 minutes the visitors struck first, a high point for Ryan Upward, lovely control and a finish to match for his first goal since September, and the celebration showed. One man with no issue finding the net is Danny Rowe, the division's top marksman, executing his 23rd of the league season in clinical fashion. The striker is already just 1 goal behind his total of 24 from last season, a figure which had proved enough to make him the National League's joint top scorer last time round. Fylde would take a decisive lead just before the hour, Maidenhead failing to deal with a corner, and on just his 3rd appearance for the club, Tom Crawford was on hand to profit. Fylde continued to fly high.
It wasn't a great performance, but ultimately it's 3 points. We're just sitting there. If what we have to use that as motivation, that we can get better, and we'll try and be better on Monday, and then we'll try and be better on Tuesday, and ultimately approach that or in that manner that we're better next Saturday.
Since the turn of the year, our performance has been very good. I didn't think we quite hit that mark today, but Fylde are a top side, and they cause most teams they play problems.
Eastleigh would have been quietly confident about extending their winning streak to 6 matches, facing FC Halifax Town, who had never managed to beat the Spitfires in any competition. With half an hour played in Hampshire, the hosts Mark Yates teed up Chris Zabrowski, and after he hit the bar, Josh Hare's bouncing follow-up collided with the post. Deep into the second half, the Shaymen attacked via the same channel, thankful too that it was still possible to earn a 4th clean sheet in succession. With Ben Streven's team unable to clear, Scott Quigley crossed, and charging in at the far post to win the clash, James Ferry. Halifax have lost only once in 11 and have finally defeated Eastleigh.
At the Cufflink Stadium, both managers were facing adversity as Gary Hill's Ebbsfleet hosted Graham Alexander's Salford. For Hill, injuries and financial restrictions meant he had just 12 fit senior outfield players at his disposal. For Alexander and his promotion favourites, 5 games without a win had seen them slip to 6th, 9 points off top spot.
We're still in the mix. We're not giving up on anything yet. We just got to start winning games and see where it takes us. But we're not looking at league tables at the moment. But we never got sucked away thinking that we were far and away above better than anyone else. So we've just got to go into this game, try and win it, compete at a great level, and go from there.
It's all credit to the players in every way I form. They're the ones who go out on the park, and they're the ones, as I say, you're trying to manage between me and Ian Hendon, my assistant, and they're buying into it. They've done very, very well. There's no doubt about it. You know, as I say, that when we come here in November, we were 4 points off relegation, and I think we are at the moment 4 points off the top 7. So, you know, if we can turn around and get a good result today, it's a 6-point gap at the moment between us and Salford, and say at 5 o'clock tonight, it could either be 9 points or 3. So it's a big game on paper. So we've got our best shot.
Salford were determined to prove why they're so fancied to go up, and their breakthrough came just after the half hour. Carl Piagiani for his 8th this season, an impressive total for a defender. It proved enough to see Ebbsfleet defeated, with Adam Drury seeing red for foul language just after the full-time whistle. For Salford, just a 2nd win in 9 away matches, but still in the promotion race.
It was a performance of grit, of determination, of competing for every single ball in the best way, and we got our rewards from it. I thought we were the deserved winners today. I thought we had other opportunities to score, but what pleased me more was every ball was contested for in the right way, and that's the basics of football, and the basics of football which we did well today won us a 3 point.
Welcome back. We start part 2 at Gateshead, where it's been an unsettling week for the Heed, and in particular their boss Ben Clark. Without his knowledge, key defender Fraser Kerr was sold to northeast rivals Hartlepool United. This follows the January departure of top scorer Scott Bowden, and captain Scott Barrow says he's been offered around to other teams. Gateshead, meanwhile, are unable to bring anyone in because of a transfer embargo imposed in December due to National League concerns about the club's finances. With all of this going on, Clark's men went to Aldershot Town unbeaten in 6, maintaining an unlikely push to end the campaign in the playoffs. Gary Waddock's team started positively, and cutting inside from out wide, a cross-come shot by Regan Booty was shovelled around the post by visiting keeper Ainsley Pears. On the other side of the interval for the Heed, Barrow crossed, and beating Jake Cole, Connor Thompson with his first goal for the club, 1-0. Then with 5 minutes remaining, Aldershot missed numerous opportunities to clear from a corner, allowing Cameron Salkeld to capitalise. Gateshead have won 3 in a row away and are back in the playoff position.
Yeah, the friends first and foremost, and I've just said there in the changing room, if you get a good changing room and you get young lads, a lot of them are young lads, local lads that have grew up with each other, they know what it's like to play for football in the northeast. They really get on it, and they want to get better. They're not the finished article, but you know there's loads of improvement to make, but they've been outstanding.
For the first time in their history, playoff-chasing Harrogate Town hosted mid-table Dagenham and Redbridge. In their only previous meeting in October, the Daggers picked up a 2-1 home win and aimed to frustrate their opponents once again. It took until 10 minutes after the interval for the home side to break through. Callum Howe in the right place to score his 8th of the season, another relatively prolific total for a defender. Yet for Harrogate, the 1 goal wouldn't prove enough for victory. Connor Wilkinson only joined the Daggers in November, yet reached double figures for the club with a simple equaliser in the 90th minute.
We've won 3, drawn 1, lost 1 in the last 5, so it's up there in the form guide, isn't it? And we've got to pick ourselves up. It's disappointing, because we were so close to another really good display.
I'm delighted that the boys kept going. You know, I've got a lot of respect for Harrogate. I think they're one of the best teams that we've played in the division. So for us to keep going and get a point late on is very pleasing. And I think, as I say, Harrogate are a good team. They've got lots of good footballers. They're strong at the back. They're strong up front. So for us to come here and get a draw is a great result.
Sutton United had failed to score in 3 fixtures, their worst run in 4 years. But the last time they faced Hartlepool United in October, a 5-goal thriller was won 3-2 by Pools. In a first half, a Craig Eastman through ball was collected by Rory Deacon to bag for the first time for Sutton since returning from Dundee 1-0. After the interval, the hosts continued to apply pressure, and from the edge of the area, a deflected Guime Touré shot doubled Sutton's lead. Then from pretty much nowhere past the hour mark, a Mark Kitching cross ended up going in. Game on in the capital, surely not a shot. Moments later, the home team could have restored their 2-goal advantage, but the rapid Deacon was denied by Loach, and there was Miles Anderson following up excellently too. Back up at the other end, Hartlepool pressed for the equaliser. Nicky Featherstone was allowed to cross, leading to former Forest Green Rovers man Luke James slamming past Ross Warner. The comeback was complete. Pools even had the chance to seal all 3 points. An effort from Liam Noble, however, was deflected onto the outside of the post. 2-2 it ended, and these two this season have shared 9 goals in a couple of fantastic clashes.
If Braintree were to keep any hope of survival alive, they needed a win at Dover. Their hosts sat just a point above the danger zone with just 1 win in 6. But the visitors gave themselves a mountain to climb when, with less than 5 minutes played, Ricky Gabriel saw red after striking Alfie Pavey. On closer inspection, referee Josh Smith had little choice but to send off the defender. To rub salt into the early wounds in the 18th minute, Pavey scored his first goal for Dover following a double save from the unfortunate Ben Killip. The 10 men battled hard to get back into the contest, and after Cameron James's free kick was tipped onto the crossbar, they were awarded a penalty when Scott Doe handled. But in keeping with the afternoon, Corey Henry saw his spot kick kept out by Lee Worgan. Jai Reason has scored some stunning goals with his feet recently. This time, the midfielder beat Killip to the ball with his head to seemingly make the game safe. To make matters worse for Braintree, ex-player Mitch Brundle headed in after fine work from Ricky Modeste. Dover's biggest win since December 2017, Braintree 14 points from safety.
We get the penalty and you think, great, a little bit of confusion over who should have taken the penalty because Corey wasn't the penalty taker, so there was a little bit of friction would probably be the best word there, and obviously he doesn't score it. Keeper pulls off a worldly save from a free kick, then they go down and make it 2-0. So it's hard sitting in the changing room when actually I don't think we played that badly.
A few people looked a little bit nervous on the ball, decision making, but there's a lot on the game and I can understand that. So we've played a lot better this season and got beat, but it's about winning at this stage of the season. We've got 10 more games now. So it was a good 3 points and obviously a clean sheet as well.
Searching for a solution to their recent slump, Boreham Wood added a well-known name to their coaching staff this week, the former Arsenal ladies manager Vic Akers. The 72-year-old won 32 major honours with his old side, having founded the team in 1987. The hope is Akers' experience can assist Luke Garrard in moving up the table. Facing Bromley away, Wood hadn't won in 8, while Neil Smith's men had been defeated only once in their previous 9. The visitors had a corner 4 minutes before the break, and a shot by Justin Shebu was controlled by Ralston Gabriel, who found the back of the net to make it 1-0. Gabriel only signed last month from Harrogate Borough. Bromley in the past week have moved to extend Frankie Raymond's contract at Hayes Lane. And into the second half in London, the former Dagenham and Redbridge player brought out the best in Wood's keeper Ryan Huddart. Next to have a go after last weekend scoring a belter at Hartlepool was Luke Coulson, denied by the woodwork. Garrard and Akers' team managed to hang on and even extended the scoreline in the 90th minute as a spilled Lee Gregory save was turned in by Idris Kanu. A rare win puts Boreham Wood 7 points clear of the relegation zone.
After dropping down from League Two, Barnet have found themselves in another relegation battle this campaign, sitting just a couple of points above the relegation places before the visit of mid-table Barrow. However, they do have at least 4 games in hand over the other sides around them and showed they have the potential to move up the table with an excellent opener from Elliot Johnson within the first 5 minutes. It was the long-time servant's first league goal in front of his own fans. An hour of the game later, they were 2 up. Shaquille Coulthurst displaying the determination to move level as the Bees' top scorer this season. Barnet sat 9 points below their opponents before the match, yet they were the dominant side, and against a Barrow who had kept 6 clean sheets in 7 games, the Bees added a third when Dan Jones converted into his own net. Barrow added a consolation with 10 minutes to go as Carl Jameson scored his first senior goal, but having lost only one of their previous 14, they'd been blown away by buoyant Barnet.
So for now, at least Barnet ease any fears of getting sucked into a relegation scrap, and a big win for Boreham Wood also allows for breathing room. Dover, meanwhile, moved 4 points clear of the bottom 4, who all suffered defeat. It's not looking good at all for Braintree and Maidstone. At the top, Wrexham remained 2 points clear, but their nearest rivals all kept pace and have games in hand. Salford moved to 5th after ending their slump, and Gateshead jumped back into the playoff positions despite their off-field issues.
In the National League North, 6,311 turned up at Edgeley Park for what was the biggest recorded attendance in the history of either the North or the South divisions. Second place Stockport County faced third place Spennymoor Town, with the 2 sides a point apart. In the end, the only moment to separate the teams was a free kick from Sam Walker that evaded everybody straight into the net. A huge cheer from the huge crowd and a huge win for Stockport. That result moves County to within a point of National League North leaders Chorley, who could only draw at Darlington. County also have a game in hand, but don't count out Spennymoor either, as despite their defeat, they also have additional games to play. In the South, it was a week for the underdog, as all of the top 7 failed to win. Woking's point at Hungerford was enough to move them level with leaders Torquay, who suffered a shock home defeat to rock-bottom Weston-super-Mare.
Coming up on BT Sport, our live cameras will be in East London as title contenders Leyton Orient and Wrexham face off on Saturday. Coverage on BT Sport 1 starts at 12:15, and the game is also available on 4K UHD. We leave you this week with superb Solihull and their hat-trick hero Jermaine Hilton. It's still on. Tim Flowers and his side upsetting the odds, potentially winning promotion to the EFL. Myself and BT Sports National League team are back next weekend. Goodbye for now.